Welcome back to another Sunday Stitches. Today we are going to be filling in our daily temperature stitching project with all of August temperatures. So today we're going to fill in the dashes to represent all of August's daily temperatures, and we are going to be stitching up this rosette using a satin stitch. So if you want to learn how to stitch up this rosette, and if you want to keep following along with the daily temperature project, we are going to fill in those temperatures right now. If you're new to the channel, my name is Lauren. I am the artist, fiber artist, and quilter behind Garden Girl Studio. I design fabric, make cute fabric-y projects, share tutorials, vlogs, and more. And I am so glad that you are here. If you are new to this project, I have all of the resources on my website. I will link them in the description below. The resources that you'll be able to download are this color temperature key so that you can choose temperatures to correspond with DMC floss colors so that you can determine which colors you're going to use depending on the daily temperature. And then I also have the free downloadable template that you can use to fill in this project and to stitch it out. And I know that it's August, but you don't have to start this temperature project in January. You can start it in the middle of the year and just keep catching up. If you're new to the project, every month we fill in dashes to correspond with the daily temperature for every single day. So each dash is a different day's temperature, and the color corresponds to what the temperature was that day. And then we take whatever colors that we use to fill in the dashes for that month, and we stitch up a floral on the side of the project to represent all of the temperatures in that month. And today we're going to be filling in this rosette right here. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Also, we are super chill around here when we go to stitch. So I've got a coffee, tea. I have a tea from Superficial. This is their Seattle Fog. It is delicious. It is so good. It has like blueberry tones and it's creamy, and I just love their drinks. So grab a water, grab a tea, grab coffee, whatever's going to make you feel good for working on this project. Now I've already grabbed our temperatures from this month. So you can see that the temperatures, these are my average daily temperatures for my area. Your temperatures might be a little bit different, but we're going to have 2 orange dashes this month, 22 salmon dashes, and 7 dark pink. So let's fill them in on our chart. If you are new to the project, I will link a setup video so you know exactly what we're doing and what we're up to, and it'll give you step-by-step instructions. I'll link that video in the description below so you can catch right up. If you're following along with the same colors that I'm using, our orange is 922, our salmon is 3328, and our dark pink is 3803. I have these floss packs in all of the colors that we're using for our temperature color key in my online shop. I will link that in the description below as well. If you want to get all the same colors that I am using, we can work on this project totally together. Okay, so we're going to start filling in our dashes. I have my orange DMC floss here. I'm going to be doing 2 dashes using the orange because we only had 2 temperatures high enough for the orange color. We had a 76-degree day, and we had another 76-degree day. So remember, I'm filling in from top to bottom as the year goes on. So I'm kind of trying to just slowly work my way down the dashes, but it doesn't really make a huge difference which dashes you fill in as long as they're kind of all in the same area so that you can see how the temperature is progressing throughout the year. So I'm going to start by just filling in 2 dashes for orange, and I'm going to be trying to fill in the space kind of up through here and kind of here to kind of even out. I'm going to try to make my dashes in this little 31. I'm going to try to make my 31 dashes in this little space right here. We finished our orange dashes. Next up, we're going to fill in our salmon dashes, and there are 22. So I'm just going to kind of space them out and fill in our space. And this holder I'm using, I know I've shown this before, but we're just going to show it again. It flips right around really easily, and I can tighten up the side screw. I can tighten up this side screw. It just unscrews to flip, re-screws to kind of hold in place. I can tie my little knot on the back, trim, and I can very easily flip it right back around. So I'm just gonna unscrew again, flip it back, and tighten it right in place. I'm gonna link this embroidery hoop holder in the description below too. I found it really helpful, especially when I'm filming, or sometimes my hands just get tired. My arms get tired of holding hoops for long periods. So if you think this would be helpful, again, I'm going to link this beautiful stand in the description below as well. And next we're gonna add our last 7 dark pink dashes. Okay, it's time to start our flower here, and we're going to be using a satin stitch. I am using 3 strands of DMC floss instead of the full 6 that we were using for the dashes, just because the flowers are a little bit more refined and I want to make sure that it's going to fill in each of those details really nicely. Now my plan is going to be to fill in these 3 little bits here with orange. Since we only had a couple orange dashes this month, I don't want to overwhelm the flower. This flower is supposed to represent the temperatures that we saw throughout the whole month. So I kind of like, when I can, trying to get the volume of colors to correspond to what actually happened during the month. So we're going to fill in these 3 little petals here with the orange, and then I'm going to work my way out to the salmon, and then the outer petals will be dark pink. And we're just going to kind of ease our way out. So I usually like to start kind of toward the center of a petal. I'll extend all the way across. And then in order to save floss, I kind of come up nearby. And, you know, you can come right next to it if you want to, but you can also kind of give yourself some guide stitches because we'll probably have to fill in between these 2 stitches. And I come right back to the center again. And because it's a petal, rather than having perfectly parallel satin stitches, I'm actually going to angle it a little bit closer to the center so that it looks like the petal is, you know, naturally angling toward the center a little bit. So we're going to kind of bring this back down toward that center line. And we're just going to go ahead and keep filling in. And if you need to do like an actual satin stitch where you come back on the other side, that's totally okay too. Sometimes it gets a little heavy coming up in the same spot at the bottom of the petal, and that is fine too. So is everyone super excited for fall? Because I think I'm starting to get ready for fall. I have enjoyed like having summertime, but just slightly cooler fall temperatures sound nice to me right now. And I love apple season. I like pumpkin season. I'm more of an apple cider girl though than like a pumpkin spice, you know, person. I'd rather have like apple crisp and apple cider. But I do love pumpkins and pumpkin patches and fall things. So are you a fall enthusiast, or is it just me? Am I alone on the fall enthusiasm? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you're up to these days. If you're holding on to summer or if fall is your jam, let me know. I am curious. And I think I'm just going to turn on a little bit of music for us, and we can just kind of, you know, I'll keep you updated as I switch colors, but I think if we just turn on a little music and we can just hang out and stitch for a little bit, I think that's going to be the plan. Okay, we're starting with our salmon color. We're going to fill in some of these central petals. So let's get started. Let's start with this one right here. We did it! We finished filling in all of August temperatures. We now have 3 big rosettes and a whole bunch of cute florals and even more dashes filled in. We're just beyond halfway done with our project. So thanks so much for following along. Remember, I'm going to have a bunch of resources linked in the description below so you can tap into those. I've also been saving my little scraps and putting them into the jars. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I will link that vlog post right here on how I keep all of my DMC floss organized. I think you'll enjoy it very much. So I'm going to be sure to link that right here so you can go check that video out next. Thanks so much for tuning in and for stitching along with me today. I really appreciate you all being here. So until next time, happy stitching.